they weren't coming in normally. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know it was them. And yeah, that got real scary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
So
you had to run, right? I mean, they were coming at you. They were behind you. Is that right?
they were between me and my company, is what
Yeah.
it was.
Okay.
I didn't know, so there's no way I could get in a battle with them.
Yeah.
So I just took off and went all the way around
Uh huh.
back to the company. But yeah, scared that shit out of me.
I bet. How many of them were there? Lots of them, right?
Yeah, probably 25.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Okay. All right, and now let's talk about. There was a night where you were with Wayne. Wayne was your spotter, and you guys set up at night during the dark, and you felt something bump into your leg. It's the one
Uh,
with the snake. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, because the spotters' names have been changed. So
Oh, okay. All right.
when you
Huh.
say Wayne, it's like, which,
Who's Wayne? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
who's Wayne? Which
Yeah.
spray are you talking about?
I had to because some of them did not want their name used.
Okay.
And
Okay. I understand.
so they
Yeah.
said it's fine to talk about it, but just use a different name. Okay. That's
Okay.
in the book. But
So this is the night when you went out, you set up, and something
there's a
started
snake
crawling
crawled
over you. Yeah, yeah,
snake crawled across me.
yeah. Can you talk about
Scared and shit.
that?
It's a snake, a long snake.
Yeah.
I think it was one of them hooded cobras. But when it started, I first went to move, and then I realized it was a snake. It's
Mm-hmm.
dark,
Mm-hmm.
and it took that thing forever to go across my legs.
Jeez.
Oh, man,
And
it was fun.
and did you see it, or it was so dark you couldn't even see it?
Well, I could tell what it was. I could see enough to know it was
Yeah,
a big snake,
yeah, yeah.
and
And
I
you
knew enough not to move.
right.
And of course, it had to stop for a minute. You know, it was about halfway across me. I didn't know what it was going to do then. Finally, it
Yeah,
started again.
yeah.
Whatever when it left. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
wow, wow.
But you know, at night, anything can happen out there.
Yeah, yeah. And what happened after that? Let's see. Let me look on page 104.
I think I caught some coming in on the trail.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I shot him.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. So this is when suddenly shooting broke out on the other side of the village,
Hmm.
and you figured there was a column in a the f- your column was in a firefight with the VC.
Right.
Suddenly, large caliber rounds were hitting all around us.
Hmm.
You went prone and hugged the ground as the hide rained broken limbs and branches. You rose to your knees to see where the rounds were coming from. A grunt stood at the opening of the trail, an M60 cradled in his arms, spraying down the area from around the hide. That's when your own guy started shooting at you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of scary.
I guess so. Yeah, and what do you do in a circumstance like that?
I finally got the word out. It was
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Yeah,
just took off.
a
Yeah,
lot of hollering, and
yeah,
it's kind of scary because you don't want the NBA to know where you're at either. You know,
right. Of course. Wow.
but you don't want your own people killing you.
Right, right.
You don't want to kill your own people.
Of
Save
course
your
not.
life.
Of course not. Of course not.
So it's just
Uh,
kind of scary.
and then you go to Go Ho Island with
No way.
Hotel 25. Yeah, and you meet a guy named Sugar Bear.
Yeah,
Can you talk about him a little bit?
uh, he's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Big, big, big black guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was probably, I think he weighed 240 pounds
Wow.
and nothing but muscle.
Yeah.
And I found out later that before he got drafted into the Marine Corps, uh, he was hooked up with a pro football team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, that ended when he got went in the service. But anyhow, Sugar Bear, he is probably one of my best friends and one of the funnest guys I ever worked with. We got in some pretty good experiences, me and Sugar Bear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, trying to think of that. And yeah, one night we kind of got overrun. The company did. Sugar Bear is there with me, and we didn't realize when we'd set up that we got high. It was a tomb, but it was round and it was probably 12-foot diameter.
Mm-hmm.
But it was going to rain that night, and we get up on the high ground and nobody else was on it, and they kept saying, Chuck, I don't think you want to be up there, do you? Yeah. I thought, okay, they want this high ground for themselves, to
Yeah.
be out water tonight. And so we just went ahead and popped up our bunch of liners and made our little tent and got in, and that night shit hit the fan and bullets were going everywhere. Here we are up on the high ground. So Bear said, come on, and we started out of the tent. And anyhow, bullets, like I say, they were going through the tent. They were going everywhere. Stuck to the ground. We crawled out, got down, and finally, funny things kind of quit, slowed down. And everybody was just laughing their ass off at us, Told you dumb shits not to get up there. Bear says, oh, maybe we ought to listen to them guys next time. Yeah, a little scary. Do what?
Remember when you had all of the animals that came
Yeah,
down?
you're attacked by a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a
Yeah,
different
that was a
one.
different time. He
Okay.
lived full with me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you talk about scary because he'd come in on my back and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was NBA or something, just
Yeah.
screaming and kicking the shit out of me. He is big, but he ate good.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Talk about that. So you ended up killing a pig, right?
I had to.
Yeah.
He killed me. Was in
Yeah.
the hole together, and he was just a kick with both feet. And I pulled my 45 out and shot him. And Popo actually cooked him in the ground,
Mm-hmm.
so that worked out pretty good.
Wow. Wow. But the helicopter, when you tried to get him on the helicopter, is this the same one?
No.
No, that's a different pig. They
Okay.
wouldn't let me take my pig on the helicopter.
That's right. Let's talk about that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was taking my pig. I didn't give a shit. They were getting me on, but I had my pig and I was getting on there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But they weren't going to let you on.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the-
Not with my pig.
Yeah, but explain to him. He doesn't know. So explain to him about why the crew chief didn't want the pig
Yeah.
on the helicopter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, make a mess,
Yeah. Make
Yeah.
a mess. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't want that on shit on his.
And they
his
were going to
crap.
take off without you, right?
Yeah, they're gonna leave me if I didn't get rid of that pig.
Jeez. But you got the pig on. You were determined.
I did. I finally got
Yeah.
him.
And then you ended up meeting the helicopter pilot, right? Like years later at a reunion.
Later, yeah.
Yeah.
After where's we at? Yeah, it was at one of the shot shows down in Vegas.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Right
you
in.
were-
And in fact, he even brought some other people over and said, "Here's that crazy son of a bitch I was telling you about with the pig." Yeah.
That's great. Now let's talk about when you were at Dodge City at Mead River,
Mhm.
and you were ambushed there. And you thought you were dead. You thought you had been shot.
Oh, that was when they shot my pack full of shit. And what was the hell was I had in there?
Peaches, right? Canned
Peaches.
peaches. Yeah.
I mean, peaches. and it hit so close to my back when the bullet went through. It just stung like hell, and I thought I'd been hit.
Yeah.
And of course, it went through my peaches. I had a bunch of cans of peaches, and as I laid there, I could feel the blood running down my sides. And I even told my spotter behind me, I says, "I've been hit. I've been hit." Anyhow, it was just the peach juice running down me. Thank God I wasn't hit.
Yeah. Those peaches probably saved your life
It was
that
a little
time.
scary though for a little bit.
Yeah, I bet so. Okay. All right. So then you go to Bangkok for some R&R. Remember
Yeah.
that? And you left your gun with the armorer. Can
Right.
you tell us that story?
Yeah, I'd like to kill that son of a bitch. I told him, I says, "There's nothing wrong with my gun.
Yeah.
Please don't screw with my gun."
Yeah.
He said, "Well, I'll just look it over." I said, "It doesn't need anything done to it. Let's get on." And, because it takes a while to get a place you can, get your 1,000-meter dope and stuff back on your gun. So anyhow, got back from R&R, picked up my rifle, got out to the field, and when the company I got with, just about probably 300-400 yards from it, there was another company as it got into a firefight down there. And anyhow, the NVA ship was putting it to them. Well, I went out and I knew I better shoot my rifle at something to make sure, it's on.
Yeah.
Well, as here come this, it seemed to be civilian clothing. Big guy come walking down, about 100 yards from me on a trail, going in front of me. And when he got almost to me, he stepped up on a dike. And when he did, I see he had a rifle, and it was on a string or a rope, down by his feet.
Yeah.
Stepped up on the bank. I seen the rifle come up with him. Shit, I just took the rifle off safety. He's only like 100 yards from me.
Yeah.
Right between the eyes. Touched the rifle off. He turned and looked at me. What the hell? And I cranked another round in, so I went for a body shot.
Yeah.
Shot again. He just stood there looking at me. And then I shot again. Nothing. Then I started shooting left, right. Then loading my gun again as fast as I could load it. And the whole time he's just kind of looking at me like, "I'm going to come and kill your ass."
Yeah.
And he never picked his gun up. He finally turned and just started walking straight away. And I shot at him 4 or 5 more times and still couldn't hit him. I found out my gun was shooting about, at 50 yards, it was shooting about 3 foot high and way off to the left anyhow.
Wow.
So
Wow.
the armor had screwed with my gun. I don't know how he got that scope that far off.
Yeah, that's way off.
And it's what's funny. You think about, people saying, "Did it bother you, killing all those people?" No, they were the enemy. They were killing us.
Yeah.
But the thing that bothered me worse than anything, and I still have nightmares about it, is seeing the look on that guy's face when I was shooting at him.
Yeah.
He could have killed me.
Yeah.
He could have picked a gun up and killed me. I couldn't hit him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
he never even picked up his gun.
No, he just turned and started walking away.
Wow.
But there's also a company right behind me,
Yeah. Yeah.
He got into it, been over him, so I think he figured that out. Because he looked at me like, "You son of a bitch, I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah. Because you're probably thinking, this guy can't hit the side of a barn, man. I got nothing to worry about.
Right. Yeah. So, shit is a bitch. Ain't gonna hurt me.
Yeah. But then you had an opportunity to get back at that armorer.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I got those beers.
So tell us that story.
Yeah, it's funny. Went down there, and we had to turn a rifle into the armor when we come in for the 3 days. I got to where I hardly ever came in, but anyhow, while I was there, I got to looking in the back, and shit, there was cases of beer back there, and they would send beer over But when you got beer, you got like one beer or something, you know.
Yeah.
They
You didn't get a
do
case.
much
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah.
No. So I seen the cases of beer in the back. I went and I told my squad leader, Mark Olympic, I says, somebody's got a shitload of beer in the back. Mark says, well, how are we going to get it? And I said, I don't know, we'll have to figure something out. That night we got hit. And of course, everybody runs to the bunkers and all that shit. I says, Mark, now's our time. Jumped on one of those little, scooter things. Little mule. Jumped on it, run down there. And while they were in their bunkers and shit, we opened the back of his tent, loaded up all his beer, and took off and shot back to our tent. Boy, we had a party that night. Man, everybody got smoked. It's good. It's good.
That's
They
great.
get back to armor anyhow.
Yeah. Did he ever? Did you ever say anything after that? The armorer?
Nope, he never said nothing. I don't think he knew who. I know he didn't know who got his beer, but
Yeah.
I kind of think he had a feeling.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Me
funny.
and Mark jumped on that pack mule and run down there and ripped open back that tent and just loaded her up. Of course, everybody's in bunkers and shit and fired our pack mule back up and
Yeah.
run back to our tent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we all got drunk that night. Yeah, boy.
Okay, so let's talk about what you joined the Combined Action Platoon. What was the Combined Action Platoon? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Well, what they do is they go into a village that the people are having trouble with, growing stuff or, getting their rice.
Yeah.
And irrigation and different things. And so I got to go out with them one time and work with the people and, the civilians.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And so, but they were different to work with because they weren't really set up like the grunts I worked with, like,
Yeah, combat. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
And what was it like? What was your impression of the civilians there? The people just like working in the fields?
They were great.
Yeah.
The people were good.
Yeah.
And they knew we were trying to help them, but still they were still afraid of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure something had happened, but I got to know some on this little boy. He's probably about 12 or so. I got to know him real good at one of the villages. And this guy he was just a great kid, but he helped me a lot. As far as VC, you can't just look at a person and say, well, that's not a farmer, that's Vietcong.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'd tell me, BC. He'd point at this guy.
Oh, really? Wow.
BC.
Wow. Yeah.
And of course, if the guy didn't have a gun, I can't shoot him,
Yeah.
about it.
Right.
And
right.
I knew who to watch, and
Yeah.
that would keep an eye on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it did give me several kills.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you go into these villages, you couldn't tell a VC from just a regular villager. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most of the time, because the VC, well, there's older guys, of course, but a lot of them, that were younger men, they're in the service, in South Vietnamese service, and they're not out running around. So you see a younger guy in a village, something's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but normally we didn't get to shoot them; we would just catch them.
Yeah.
And then they'd get interrogated, and then they'd fly them up into Da Nang. But
yeah. So it was a lot of kids, women, and older people in the villages. Yeah.
But on that little boy, he was in Arizona Territory, and that kid helped me so much. He would tell me who was VC, tell me what was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just great.
Yeah.
And I actually knew him for the 13-month tour I was there. Well,
Uh-huh.
8 months of it. And then on my extension, when I come back,
Mm-hmm.
up right back up with that kid again. He was,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I always
Wow.
wished that I could have got him to the United States, got him out of that mess, but
Yeah. Yeah.
couldn't.
Yeah. Do you
Tried.
remember? Do you remember his name?
Swan is what
Fong.
his name
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Yeah. And he spoke no English, just a few
A
words.
little bit. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
a tiny bit, but
Yeah.
I worked with him on it. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
God, by the time I left, he'd say quite a bit of English words and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Got
Uh-huh.
him
Huh.
great, though, great kid.
Huh. Huh.